I don't know what video title I'm going to use yet for this because I'm between wrongfully claiming that this 2011 movie was written by ChatGPT, or I might just refer to this movie as like Team Glee or something.
Because you're all minorities. You're in the Glee Club.
Regardless of what direction I take, I just want to say that both are true. Lemonade Mouth is a movie based on a book written by Mark Peter Hughes, which is also named Lemonade Mouth.
Poets, geniuses, visionaries. Lemonade Mouth has been called all of these things.
I had never heard of it. It garnered 7 million views in its premiere, with nearly 2 million of those views being from DVR viewing, which is something that we had to do before streaming. The soundtrack also reached number 4 on the Billboard 200, and a few of the singles hit the Billboard 100, so it's safe to say that this is a beloved classic for many people. I can't believe that I'm referring to something that came out in 2011 as a classic, but I think 15 years is a good starting point for a title like that, as old as it makes me feel. Anyways, this movie surprised me personally because I hadn't seen it when it came out. I was 14 years old in 2011, so I don't know. I had like already aged out of Disney Channel at that point, so I never really knew much about it. It definitely wasn't one of those, this movie is for everyone. Like, it's definitely a kid's movie, but the quality is certainly much higher than another movie that came out a year later that we covered on this channel. Bridget Mendler is in this movie, amongst other amazing actors like my personal favorite, Naomi Scott. But Bridget is especially worth mentioning because she has since shifted into being the co-founder of a multi-million-dollar company that's planning to mass produce those giant ground satellite things. The company raised $6 million in 2025, and this year it raised another $100 million. And here she is in Lemonade Mouth. For a long time, I thought that her and Taylor Swift were the same person. Like, I used to call Taylor Swift Good Luck Charlie because I thought she was in the show. Anyways, we're going to talk about Lemonade Mouth. This movie starts with our main characters getting ready to perform at a big concert venue, so you know they got to be someone important. It's one of those movies where they're like, you're probably wondering how we got here, right? Coming in strong with the cliches, our main characters all meet in detention because we're breaking the rules. Who follows rules anyways? Not us. Before we get too far into this origin story about this famous band, we learn a little bit about our characters and how they got into detention. The first gal on our list is Stella, which is the name of my dog, so every time someone said her name, I just thought of my little angel with the giant ears.
Who's my good girl? Who's my good girl, Stella?
Stella is what you get if you asked a Gen Xer in 2011 to write an alternative girl. Combat boots, plays the electric guitar, her hair is asymmetrical with this like really badass shirt that says reject authority. Her mom is very much the opposite though. She's very put together and does business things, I guess. Stella is new at this high school, which means everyone's gonna hate her.
Check out the new girl.
This guy is such a fucking asshole, and rarely do I see an authentic douchebag in a movie like this. He did way too good of a job. Our next character's name is Wen. Like, when are you gonna hit that subscribe button? Now. You're gonna hit it right now.
Don't you think it's a little weird that your girlfriend's still in college?
She's 28, Wen.
Wen is supposed to be short for Wendell, and I think that is an incredibly stupid nickname, so I'm not calling that. Not much wrong with Wendell. His parents are just divorced, and his dad is in a relationship with a 28-year-old. And he's 40. This is all that's wrong with Wendell's life, by the way. He's just really caught up about this throughout the entire movie. Not because dad is dating again, but because 16 is apparently so close to 28.
Give Sydney a chance.
Why? Sydney wants Chinese food. Let's watch Sydney's favorite show.
Honestly, Wendell, just sit down and eat your damn Chinese food. I'm gonna take away your Xbox Live.
Sorry.
Then we meet Charlie and his problem, because everybody in this movie has a problem. His problem is that he clearly loves drumming, but his parents are completely unaware and want him to play soccer because his brother played soccer in high school and they're really emotional about it.
You might like to have this with you today.
It was your brother's.
Charlie had to clarify that his brother wasn't dead.
What are you crying for? Tommy's just away at college.
Like, it just means a lot to them. Mo is struggling with her dad being overbearing, and they touch a bit on what it's like to be the daughter of a first-generation Indian immigrant. And he's very, like, no makeup, no boys, all school. Mo is in a relationship with Scott, and they have this reoccurring issue where they can never really hang out as a couple because he's either at band practice or she's doing school-related things for her classes. He convinces her to skip class to watch him practice with his band for the upcoming Halloween dance, and at first she's hesitant because she doesn't want to get in trouble, but then she kind of gets guilted into it.
Just this once.
That's like a whole part of her character in the beginning of the movie. She just does what everybody else wants her to do. All we know about Olivia at this moment in time is that she's very shy. But don't worry, her backstory is going to come back up later. Principal Brennigan, who is the principal, he's very intense.
I'm in a tight ship here.
He hates sports. No, he loves sports. He loves sports. He hates the arts. And he hates t-shirts that are red and say question authority, I guess.
But I'm afraid that shirt,
Is there a dress code here?
there's an unwritten line, and that shirt crosses it.
He makes Stella wear a jacket to cover up her shirt, even though it doesn't break dress code. Principal Brennigan also has these like big plasma screens on his wall for the security cameras, and he notices Mo and Scott sneak off during class hours. And do you think he's gonna let this fly?
I'm in a tight ship here.
Not in his school. Mo gets absolutely grilled by Brennigan. He's like threatened to tell her dad, but she's pleading her case, talking about how serious it's gonna be if he found out. And he's willing to not call her dad since she's such a model student, but she'll have to go to detention.
Detention.
And now, my friends, we are getting to the meat and potatoes of this story, and we learn how everyone got in trouble. So next we see Wendell in class, and he's in a bit of a pickle because he forgot his presentation.
Wendell.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
But Sydney, remember the 28-year-old girlfriend who's with dad, comes in and gives it to him, but the class starts objectifying her.
Check out Gwen's mommy.
And Wendell kind of loses his shit, especially when the teacher starts asking if she's his mom.
You must be Wendell's mother. She's not my mom, okay?
Anyways, he calls the teacher stupid, and that's what gets him detention.
Are you stupid?
Olivia gets detention for reading a book out loud in the janitor's closet.
Who are you? Are you nobody too?
Not sure why she was hanging out there in the first place. We see Charlie at soccer practice, and he's really terrible.
Delgado, you gotta kick the ball.
In no way is he capable of kicking some balls. Jake Paul from earlier acts like himself and decides to be mean. So Charlie decides he's gonna be mean back and throws the ball at him, but he misses and hits the coach. Guess where he's going? Last but not least on our detention origin story list, we have Stella, whose reasoning for getting detention is kind of annoying. So there's this assembly to announce some kind of sponsorship that the school has with a fake drink company called Turbo Blast. Stella decides, you know what? I'm gonna be weird and annoying because I was told to put on a jacket.
My shirt! My decision.
She interrupts the assembly and demands everyone to use their voice
Use your voice! Don't let your school take away your rights.
and know their rights. I personally get it. Like, I think dress codes are stupid, especially when what you're wearing isn't breaking dress code. But I think it was kind of like an ineffective way to prove your point. Like, I feel like it'd be better to just take off the jacket and just refuse to put it back on. No one in the gymnasium understands why you're yelling. They just think you're acting insane. One thing we need to understand about this school is that everything Principal Brennigan doesn't like, including where detention is held, has been confined into the basement. Everyone calls it the underground.
This is the underground.
So along with the detention, this is where all the art classes, the music classes, all the clubs, science stuff, math stuff, ballet, you get what I'm saying? It's supposed to be where all the rejects go.
Because you're all minorities. You're in the Glee Club.
And I'm a little confused with that because the reason all these things are in the basement is because Principal Brennigan essentially cut funding for everything except for sports.
Anything that doesn't fit Principal Brennigan's mold, you'll find it down here.
But what does that have to do with the space that's already allocated for the majority of things we're seeing here? All these clubs will be using classrooms after school hours, so it just seems very unrelated to this like sudden increase in sports spending. Because are we assuming that football practice is being held in the science lab? Miss Resnick is the one running detention, and her class was recently moved into a storage room due to her funding being cut and funneled over to sports. And she teaches like music class.
If they spent a fraction of what that new gymnasium costs to keep this music program alive.
Still trying to understand the logistics here, but okay.
We've been banished to the basement.
Like the old choir room has now been converted into a racquetball court, maybe. That's all I can assume here. Miss Resnick tells the kiddos, hey, I need y'all to clean up this shithole while I go yell at the principal. So while everyone's cleaning, they all start making noises with stuff and somehow breaking a zog. Like, okay, great. I'm pissed now. I mean, it all happened very quickly. Miss Resnick comes back in. She is over the moon at what she just witnessed. She sees the kids as this vessel to get funding back into the arts by auditioning for a talent competition called Rising Star. And the winner gets a record deal. And she thinks that if everyone sees them land a record deal, then people will start to see that arts and music matter just as much as sports.
You can show everyone around here that sports isn't the only thing that matters.
I love how the bar has to be set at winning America's Got Talent. Like, the way to get everyone to care about the arts is if you win a national talent competition and sign a record deal. Like, I was a teenager in the early 2010s, and this hopeful idea of being a big star was very much the universal mindset amongst art and theater kids. It was this, I'll prove them wrong and I'll show them the real me. But the criteria for proving everyone wrong was achieving something that only a very small number of people achieve. What I mean is, it wasn't enough to just enjoy art and music. It wasn't enough to just enjoy anything creative without needing to make it big. If you did theater, by default, you were expected to land a big role on Broadway one day. Or if you enjoyed filmmaking, the only option was to direct the next Star Wars. Normalizing the idea of things being something you can just enjoy was simply not a topic of discussion. And I think it was the influx of movies and shows telling us all that we were the special ones. All of us were gonna win America's Got Talent at the same time. It's okay for dreams to be big. It just seems like the pathway for that was usually vague and unclear. The kids in this movie do not initially entertain the idea of forming a band together, but obviously that changes at some point. But Miss Resnick keeps redirecting them to this overarching point that all of them deserve to be heard.
You deserve to be heard.
But like, what if they sucked? Would she feel any different? Probably. We get a little more character building so that we give a shit about Disney's cast of Glee. Olivia has a cat that, spoiler alert, is gonna be dead as fuck. Not much else to say about Wendell, because again, his only problem is that his dad is dating a 28-year-old. Mo is in the living room practicing the viola to show that she's always doing something productive to please her hovering dad. Charlie plays the drums, but his mom interrupts him to ask about soccer tryouts.
How were soccer tryouts?
Great.
You know, because his mom and dad don't really take his drumming seriously as his rock and soccer skills that he clearly has. Mom also tells him that he'll never get into Stanford.
You're never gonna make it to Stanford with your brother whacking away at these drums every day, are you?
I think Charlie's gonna whack you into a home.
Yuck, Dad. How can you eat that?
I have a problem with Stella in particular because she was kind of written to be a poser. So in the scene, Stella guilts her dad for eating fish at the dinner table because the fish had feelings once.
Imagine how that poor fish felt.
Not sure why Mom, who is eating this exact same fish, gets a pass, and why she waited until after the meal was cooked to express her newfound vegetarian diet.
Just because you don't see agony doesn't mean it's not there.
I am not dissing on vegetarians. I just think in her case, it feels a little performative and annoying because she'll say something very vague like, we need to stand up for our rights, or we need to stop eating animals, but there's no elaboration on those talking points.
I could start a revolution.
You know what I mean? I think it stems from our parents' generation believing that millennials were just super attention seeking 100% of the time. And that anytime we talked about social issues, we're just being dramatic. I also want to know what they were thinking about when choosing her clothes. In real life, Stella wouldn't be caught dead wearing basic ass impact font looking shirts that look clownish. She'd be wearing Invader Zim sweatshirts and pins and band t-shirts and a shirt with a T-Rex that's trying to clap his hands, but he can't because his arms are too short. Stella does become the catalyst for the band because she decides to invite everyone to reintroduce the idea of making music together over some pizza. She took it upon herself to sign everyone up to audition for Rising Star, as well as the Halloween dance coming up. And the reason Stella says she feels so strongly about this is because she wants to be heard.
But I don't want to be some random face in a yearbook. I want to be heard.
Yet another attempt to say something that means absolutely nothing. Each character confirms whether or not they want to proceed with the band idea. I definitely think Mo's character is probably the strongest because she starts kind of acting as this character who always does what everybody wants her to do, including her dad and her boyfriend. But like here, as Stella's talking about the band, her popular friends look at her weird and she's like, actually, I don't care what these fucking assholes think. Sure, let's start the band. So that was like the starting point for her character arc here. Olivia reluctantly agrees because she has chronic stage fright. That's like her whole personality, which will come up again later. And after they went around the entire table, they get to Charlie, and Charlie decides that the fate of the band should be decided by a coin flip.
Heads we do it. Tails we don't.
And I'm sorry, that would piss me off. We literally just confirmed a yes from everyone at the table except for you. We have no reason to be flipping coins because it's literally a yes or no. Of course, they end up forming the band because like that's what the movie is about. And despite two of their new band members almost quitting over like minor inconveniences,
I'm out of here.
I'm out too.
this was fixed by a song being magically put together suddenly in real time.
Don't wait.
What I'm noticing is that the expectation seems to be writing and executing a brand new song in one take. Like as long as we have the vibes, anything is possible. Later that night, Mo goes to visit her boyfriend during his band practice, and he and his bandmates are frustrated because some dumb new band is opening for them at the Halloween party and taking away time from their set. But what he doesn't know is that his new girlfriend is in the new band.
She told Brannigan she has some band and Miss Resnick isn't on it.
Miss Resnick is a really talented music
Yeah,
director.
whatever. I mean, that's not the point.
Also, Timu Jake Paul from earlier, he's in the band.
I mean, what does Brannigan expect me to do? Jump up and down? Like,
This was unexpected for me. Like, because he's in sports, he's the bully. I would not expect him to do music, especially like with the principal hating music. I don't know. It just seemed a little weird. But going back to Mo and her boyfriend Scott, before Mo even tells him that she's in this band, he's talking about how they're a bunch of nobodies and that they're undeserving of playing at the dance.
Just a bunch of nobodies.
Mo breaks the news to him that she plays bass in this new band that he was just talking shit about. And he very quickly expects her to quit the band because he values the extra time his band would get to spend on stage over his girlfriend being in a band.
my music, it's important to me. You know that.
I don't know what the big deal is because it's only two bands playing their sets and the set shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. So I'm not sure why we're assuming there's a strict set limit. The dance will most certainly be longer than half an hour. But clearly, even if the set time wasn't an issue, he would still find a reason to tell her not to do it. Mo pushes back a little, but ultimately she tells him that she'll consider quitting. The next day at school, everyone seems to get wind of this new band existing and everyone hates their main characters for it. For a school that apparently cares only about sports, everyone seems to be really invested in music and the arts to be reacting this way. The kiddos all sit around thinking of a name for their band while drinking some lemonade when suddenly they receive a threatening message telling them to back off the bash. So things are definitely getting really serious now, guys. Mo sits with her boyfriend at lunch who is acting incredibly weird, distant, off-putting. He's like not calling her back. He doesn't want to hang out. And he chalks this up to being busy. I think it's because he wants her to back off the bash.
Thanks. Show us what you got. Okay, but could you just...
The next interaction takes a really abrupt turn when the bullies get in Olivia's face about the band and they start harassing her. The tension in this moment feels like Jake Paul was about to get knocked in the face, which is what I was advocating for. I'm sure you were advocating for that, but the pacing felt like a 14-year-old making up a scenario in his head about how he would handle an altercation. Hold on a second. Can I get a little help here?
Talk to me. No. When? Yeah, a little help here.
Hands were not thrown, and instead, Stella sprays Jake Paul with some lemonade. Principal comes up, Jake Paul describes what went down in a very civilized way that plays in his favor.
I went to go get a turbo blast, and they just start threatening me.
But Jake Paul calls Stella something really interesting. And what does he call her? Surprise, surprise.
Next thing you know, it's lemonade mouth over here.
And after this series of events, the band is of course going to be named Lemonade Mouth. At this point, we're just really trying to drive down the idea that all these kids are the losers and that everything is stacked against them. They are the outcast.
Because you're all minorities. You're in the Glee Club.
And as if that whole situation wasn't bad enough, now the school is going to remove the lemonade vending machine next to the detention room.
I'm not going down without a fight.
So backing up a little bit, because this may not seem like a really big deal, because
Just a machine, Stella.
No, it's not.
it isn't. The movie tries to make me care about the sentimental value of this machine because every time they're in the classroom together, they get lemonade from this machine. And the school is replacing the lemonade machine with a turbo blast machine.
Turbo blast.
Jake Paul lures Mo over to her boyfriend getting handsy with one of the mean girls, which was oddly the right thing to do.
Oh, well, you've made her choice. Hey, good luck tonight.
Speaking of good luck tonight, the Halloween bash isn't going as planned because the band is about to perform in 10 minutes, but Olivia hasn't shown. And it turns out that she's hiding in the girls' bathroom, and everyone, including the boys, run in there to convince her to come out. So Olivia is just not coming out. She's scared. She's like, she's gonna puke everywhere or something. And you think that maybe they'd talk this out a bit.
We got plenty, thank you.
They go on in 6 minutes, so they gotta think fast. Who saves the day other than Stella with her belt packed with a dozen of lemonades?
Right?
The lemonade gives her the strength to go on. Upon getting ready to perform, the band is met with the crowd booing at them.
Yeah, nice costumes. Oh, you're not wearing any.
Jake Paul is heckling in the audience, criticizing them for not wearing a costume, as if he's wearing one. In the most Nickelodeon victorious way possible, they start performing and the audience is like, wait, they're kind of good. They're proving me wrong. I'm not playing any of the music because it's definitely going to flag, but I was confused when Wendell started rapping when I thought he was on the keyboard. But it turns out that he does both. Like sometimes he raps, sometimes he's on the keyboard, sometimes he raps on the keyboard. The best way to describe Wendell rapping would be exactly how you would imagine a Disney white boy would rap.
All right, cookies and candy after bedtime. And my dad's dating a 28-year-old. That kind of pisses me off. Holla if you're in a wheelchair. All right. And, wait a second.
His rap name would probably be 21 Peanut or Imagine Wagons. The wheels on the bus go round and round. That's the energy I'm getting. That's not Eminem, that's Skittle. After their first song, they pass out a bunch of lemonade and Stella starts announcing her outrage for the lemonade vending machine getting taken out.
Lemonade machine in the basement is scheduled for removal.
And I'm confused at how she managed to get the audience riled up about this. I just don't know why Stella couldn't get mad at something that mattered, like racism. She's just mad for no reason. Why is she mad about dumb shit? She's like if TikTok was a person. In the middle of the next song, Stella reveals her question authority jacket. Man, the principal is not gonna like this one. So now this band is like my Cocomelon romance. We're rejecting the status quo. We're defending Lemonade by Beyonce. We are young. Principal Brennigan shuts them down, and the next day at school, he basically tells them that they got to disperse the band or they're going to be suspended, like if they perform at school in any way. To the kids' surprise, the entire school seems to have made a 180 and suddenly they idolize them. They're being written about in the school paper. People are genuinely treating them like celebrities, which doesn't make sense to me. Their newfound fans made some fan posters that look like they were bought at the local Target. Some of my favorite posters are I want lemonade and don't take Mel's. Whoever put the lemonade mouth sign on the girl's wheelchair, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Why'd they make her into Mouthmobile? It would be like Wheelchair Girl having a sign that just said Lady Gaga, just taped on the back of her wheelchair. Like, is she charging by the hour? Principal Brennigan orders the staff to remove the Lemonade Forever banner that was hung at the school's entrance. Naturally, he assumes Stella had something to do with it, but she denies having any involvement. So Stella and the kids talk over some ideas over pizza, and she's like, hey, what if we just perform at Dante's Pizza instead of school events? Already, Charlie, Olivia, and Mo are pretty against this idea. Like, Mo doesn't want to do it because her ex eats at Dante's Pizza. Olivia is too stage fright, and Charlie keeps lying to his parents that he's at soccer practice every day and he can't keep up with the lie. And as soon as Mo sees Scott at Dante's Pizza, she understandably doesn't want to be there anymore. But as soon as she walks outside to her car, she sees this impressively large banner print of the band that reads, "Don't stop the revolution."
No way. Look at us up there.
I could ask the very obvious question being, where did this come from? I also have yet to know what this revolution is, and I don't really care to know. They're all standing around like, hey, maybe we do matter.
Maybe we do matter. Of course we do.
And this could not be any more of a millennial turning point in a movie like this. Because what do you mean your worth as a person is determined by local fame? Why would you matter any less before than you do now? So they decide to start playing a nightly set at Dante's. And this time, Mo is the singer. So wait, this entire time Mo could sing? This seems like a very clear solution to Olivia's stage fright problem. She seems perfectly fine on the guitar. Just have Mo sing. Also, I think the song in this movie was probably my favorite, and I think that Naomi Scott definitely deserved to be passed down the torch from Demi Lovato after this performance. And what pisses me off is I didn't really see Disney cast her in anything until they needed a Jasmine for Aladdin. Like Aladdin, like shit, really? That's what it took? The one typecastable role she could have possibly gotten rather than like a Hannah Montana Victorious type show. I also didn't notice until the second time watching that she looks at herself in the reflection of the napkin holder. Whose idea was that? We find out that Olivia's cat dies, and Olivia's cat was described earlier as the only connection she had to her dead mom. Two separate events, by the way. The cat died later. Rest in peace to both of them. The kids come over to comfort Olivia in her time of grief, which I'm not even being funny. Like, that's a very real time of mourning, and you do not understand the loss of a pet that is yours until you experience it. At a certain point, they're all laying on the grass, kind of airing out their grievances. Stella thinks that she's too dumb to be in her family. Mo wishes her dad would leave her alone. Like, they're all mostly complaining about their families until Olivia drops the old, my mom is dead and my dad's in prison lore.
Take perfect brother any day over my dad's ridiculous girlfriend. My dad's in prison.
Oh yeah, everyone shut the fuck up real quick. And my heart goes out to anyone out there who has a loved one in prison. I will now manifest their JPay accounts to be filled with love and prosperity until they are released back onto you. Unless you hate them, in which case I hope their JPay account is canceled and someone scary steals their shit. They play a song to cheer up, and then they play another song where I thought Olivia was holding a blue inhaler for some reason, but actually it's one of those shake weight things. At first I was confused as to why there was a child holding a boom mic and another holding a camera, but I realized that they were supposed to be filming a music video here. Maybe. Some time passes and Mo runs into her bonehead ex-boyfriend, Scott, who wants to get back together with her. He gives this half-assed apology and claims that the girl from earlier was just a friend. Yeah. Okay. Mo basically lays out that it's kind of irrelevant, you know, that she's had some character development over the last 2 months, and she seems more concerned that he'd try and control her over her music, which of course he claims he wouldn't do. She forgives him, but stays firm on staying apart. Later that night, the band is freaking out because one of their songs is playing on the radio, so things are looking pretty good for them. They continue their gig at Dante's, but get into another conflict with Jake Paul, who straight up yells in the audience, calling them losers, and then snatches the microphone from Olivia. And after Wendell steps in, somehow this causes the entire joint to act chaotic and throw their shit everywhere. Even though Jake Paul was clearly in the wrong, Dante's doesn't seem to want them to play there anymore, which is like what we learn when Charlie is walking Mo home. Obviously, they should have just banned Jake Paul from this place, especially after he took the microphone. Charlie decides to shoot for the stars and express his undying love for Mo, but when she tells him that she's not interested, he acts foolish.
You know what? Be heard. It's a stupid song. I'm never singing it again.
No, Charlie.
Disrespectfully, Charlie, how does being heard entitle you to being romantically involved with anyone? She heard you, and she said no. After he storms off, Mo's dad gives her a mouthful about how he's sacrificed so much moving to America and views her interacting with boys as disrespecting her father. This becomes a larger conversation amongst her family about how she doesn't believe her father trusts her at all.
Papa doesn't trust me. Do you?
We move from what is a very serious and probably relatable topic for many of you to more foolishness again. You know, when Lemonade Mouth abruptly has all kinds of issues. Charlie slams his fingers into the jewel chest. Wendell gets a black eye from hanging a picture. Mo is coughing earlier, and their audition for the competition is tomorrow. Wendell vents to Olivia about Sydney getting married to his dad, which he cannot get past for some reason. Like, imagine the only problem in your life, the only struggle that you have is that your divorced dad is marrying a 28-year-old who has been nothing but nice to you. Olivia tries framing this as not a big deal, and when Wendell pushes back, she doubles down and calls him ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Which leads him to storming off and then threatening to quit.
Maybe it's time to call it quits.
What, so you just want to give up?
What are we doing? Like, why did this need to escalate the way that it did? Olivia had to pull out the "my mama's dead and my dad is in prison" card again, which still wins. And then she slips out that she only agreed to be in the band for Wendell.
Did it for you.
We're now going to revisit the everyone in the band suddenly has problems topic again. So the band is like dying, okay? Like everyone is Everyone looks like shit. Stella is doing more performative gymnastics, protesting in front of the truck that's taking away the lemonade vending machine. The movers go to pick her up, and the kids start climbing on top of the movers to defend Stella's honor. I don't know. As if this isn't stupid enough, because it is. They all get thrown in jail for this. Jail! And then they start making noises and singing again, like earlier, which just pissed me off. 10 more years for you. 10 more years and no JPay. The band members' parents and guardians coming to pick them up from jail is used as a way to complete some character arcs. So Mo's dad comes to terms with his daughter growing up and finds it within himself to step back a little bit. Wendell realizes that his stepmom is actually great. Like, what has been your problem for the last hour and a half, dude? Charlie gets a pep talk from his brother, encouraging him to be honest with his parents about the band. Stella's mom enables Stella's performative bullshit because she stood up for what she believed in. And I guess Olivia's grandma just doesn't give a fuck. I don't know what else to say about that one. She just doesn't seem to care.
When I said get out of the house, this isn't what I meant.
The talent show audition is so ridiculous because they're up against Jake Paul's band, and Jake Paul is singing about how everyone wishes they were him. And he's wearing a t-shirt that just has his face on it. It's literally just his face. The Lemonade Mouth performance was not what they hoped it would be due to everyone's problems. I mean, Charlie isn't drumming because his fingers are broken. Olivia lost her voice. Mo is coughing. I really want to know why Wendell is playing the piano like shit. Am I supposed to believe he can't see the keys? Only one eye is out of commission. Have no fear though, because the entire audience realizes that they're having a bad day and they start singing the words to their song because they already knew it. So it's like they've already won, even though they didn't. Maybe this is what the revolution looks like. Not class consciousness, but showing the world who you really are. That's the real revolution. The movie is basically over at this point, but they do wrap up a few things. Like Mo decides to take back her shitty ex-boyfriend. Charlie sees Mo with him and decides that he's not an incel anymore. Wendell gives Olivia a kitten, and as sweet as that might be, just don't do that. Cats are a 15-year commitment. You don't know if enough time has passed, if she's ready for a new cat, and generally living things should never be gifts unless you're getting a kid a puppy that you're ready to take care of. Sydney and Wendell's dad get married, and they really picked the most raggedy stepmom-looking wedding cocktail dresses I've ever seen. Not only did we aggressively jump ahead and find out that they're now playing at Madison Square Garden with no context as to how they managed to do that, turns out this entire movie was a letter to Olivia's dad in prison.
Can't wait to tell you the rest in person. I really miss you, Dad.
I'm not opposed to the idea of an entire story being a first-person story that you are telling to a loved one in prison, but it just seems very out of place and like we're glossing over the prison thing a little bit. So yeah, these kiddos blew up overnight. I don't really understand how, but if this movie taught me anything, it's that they only matter now because they're famous. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Surprise, surprise, I'm not done. You haven't gotten rid of me yet, bitches. So sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but oh my god, I'm having like indigestion or gas or something. So I had to put this on the end of the video because if I put this at the front of the video, and I know for a fact enough people would click off for the video to not perform well, and then I wouldn't be able to get this in front of eyes. So if you made it this far, congratulations. Thank you so much for your support. And all I'm asking for you to do is just care for the next 2 minutes. Not that you wouldn't, but you get what I mean. Like a lot of people don't actually care. You might, but Queen Coke Francis sent me a message on Instagram, my very good friend, and asked me to share something. Of course, I'm like immediately, yes, of course, but I wanted it to be effective, right? And I'll get to why I'm like name dropping in a minute, but hey, sorry to bug you, but could you possibly do me a humongous favor and help me promote my friend Rawa Chuff's campaign? I was able to raise a fair amount myself, but I'm reaching out to other creators to share the link. For context, she's a mom of 5 whose husband was injured by. They have no savings, and with threatening to close off borders again, she's trying to stock up on food and resources. Funds will go directly to food, medicine, shelter, healthcare, and education for her children. No pressure, but I'm trying to share the link as much as possible. Now, I know times are tough. Believe me, like I don't think that people are just like swimming around in cash, and all I'm asking is like if you can donate, like if you can comfortably donate, just just donate, just $5, $5. Just like anything, or just share it. If all you can do is share, like that is perfectly fine. And I just need you to think, like, I'm not trying to guilt y'all or anything, but like, I don't know how anybody can't think about this. Like, what if it was, those could be your kids, right? And like, we shouldn't make this about like being selfish, right? Like it should be enough to know that other people are suffering. But really though, if it could happen there, it could happen here, it could happen to anybody. And like, these are real people. And I name drop Cook Francis because I need y'all to understand this is a real campaign with real verified people. These are real people. These are real people. She's a mom of 5 real children who are suffering. Like, the kids on Easter, on Sunday, could open up their Easter baskets and eat candy and la la la. And like, the kids over there can't. Kids over there want to bring their parents back to life. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that we're all like hee hee ha ha on this channel, but like this is real. This is the real world. This isn't even political. I don't care what your stance is. I don't care what your stance is. Actually, I don't care. I want you to care about children. Honestly, I just want you to care about children. That's all. If I can influence you to do anything, I just want you to care. And you know, if you don't share, if you don't donate, I still love you. I do. I still love you, because you're still listening. You got to the point of the video where you're still listening, and that's important. I just need you to listen. I need you to care. I need you to think about what's happening. Like, we can forget sometimes, but they can't. So, that's all.